Krissy Vann along with you on this Saturday. Our big story, this fall-like system that has brought some localized flooding, quarter-sized hail, lightning, and strong gusty winds through portions of southern Manitoba. We'll dive into that further in a moment, but let's travel to Atlantic Canada, where there's also a storm potential today. The same low-pressure system that brought significant downpours to Ontario late week moving in, so a general 15 to 30 millimeters possible for some, and that's because of heavy downpours with embedded thunderstorms. You can see our thunderstorm risk map extends through Nova Scotia all the way over to western Newfoundland, but they should be non-severe storms in nature. All right, we travel to the city of Toronto, Ontario, to get out and enjoy the rides, the midway, the food. It's going to feel quite humid is what we experienced earlier through the week, but rounding out the weekend with a little bit of increased humidity. Traveling into the prairies, this low pressure system riding along the jet stream, getting the lift because of that placement there, going to be bringing some very heavy downpours and even strong gusty winds on the backside of this low pressure system. Let's look at some of the rainfall amounts that we can expect. A wide swath in red, which indicates 30 to 60 millimeters plus, so that 15 to 30 millimeter mark, and that goes perfectly with the thunderstorm risk map here. We've already seen some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings through the day today. That will continue into the evening, and it's really the southeastern pocket of Manitoba and through northwestern Ontario where we could see those severe storms. Rotating supercells not out of the question. Looking at the south coast, I know rain is so badly needed. Unfortunately, not much on tap in that regard. Vancouver, 25 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud for you. There is a little bit of rain to the north, but unfortunately it's just not going to make its way down to the south. All right, coming up, we're going to take a look ahead and join Chris St. Clair in the Long Ranger. Krissy Vann, joined by meteorologist Kelly Sonnenberg. Kelly, in a moment, we're going to take a look across the country as we head into next week. But the story this weekend, this prairie low, and we're already starting to see some activity bubbling up.
It's already starting to pack a little bit of a punch. We've already seen severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in southern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario, and this will likely continue into the afternoon and evening hours.
And it's a very fall-like system. Along with it, special weather statements for the rain. We're seeing rainfall warnings. And Kelly, also a weather warning.
So the weather warning is to encompass thunderstorms develop. We will see rain really start to ramp up, really start to pick up into the overnight and continue into Sunday, as well as the winds for Manitoba picking up tonight, gusting anywhere from 80 to 90 kilometers per hour.
So downright stormy conditions, and I know the jet stream, a big player with this system.
So when you see the jet situated over areas where the thunderstorms are, it enhances the lift and the instability to really fuel those thunderstorms.
Now, we showed the special weather statements, the rainfall warnings, and this is a look at what's in store. Anywhere in red and quite widespread. Could even see locally higher than 60 millimeters of rain. Winnipeg, you're right on the cusp, so generally looking at that 15 to 30 millimeter mark.
And the winds as well. You can see the winds straight out of the north for Saskatchewan today, gusting 60 to 80, picking up into Manitoba through the overnight hours. We do have gale warnings in place for some of the lakes of Manitoba, gusting up to 80, 90 kilometers per hour.
So downright stormy and cold temperatures. Nobody really likes to see that in August, although not unheard of for Calgarians, but there's a pattern change as we head into next week.
That's correct, Krissy. So you can see our jet starting to amplify in the west, so that's going to be recovering the temperatures for the prairies, bringing in those warmer temperatures from the south, and as that prairie low starts to track further east, we'll see unsettled and cooler conditions for Ontario and Quebec.
So it's not like a washout is on tap for you, Ontario, Quebec, but very scattered in nature, showers, pop-up thunderstorms, and then the temperature story.
A little bit of a cool down, 15 degrees on Wednesday, so unfortunately not near really the seasonal mark.
All right, so coming up, we'll take a look ahead at those temperatures with your 14-day trend.
Visit our...
Krissy Vann along with you on this Saturday, August 22nd with a look at our developing stories. We'll talk about the prairie storm potential that has been realized. We've already seen some severe thunderstorm warnings today. We'll talk more about the first Atlantic hurricane and touch on that humidity in the east. Let's talk hurricanes first. Danny in the Atlantic. It briefly strengthened to a Category 3 yesterday, has weakened back to a Category 1, and it's going to be in count. The story of today has been this bullseye here in the prairies. This fall-like system, the same one that was responsible to bringing snow to Calgary, is now bringing significant rainfall, strong gusty winds, and some potent thunderstorms through portions of southern Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario through Sunday, a potential 70 millimeters locally for some. Let's take a look at Kananaskis. Yes. So that was from the low pressure system that has made its eastward track along the jet stream into Saskatchewan and Manitoba. In red, this is where we feel the biggest potential of severe thunderstorm development is today. And in fact, we've already seen severe thunderstorm warnings in Winnipeg, and that system, that cell brought locally heavy downpours and reports of some quarter-sized hail. So here is the track of the low. As we continue through the weekend, you're going to notice that it'll start to retrograde over northwestern Ontario. And that means for those in southern Ontario, as we head through the week, the potential of seeing some scattered showers, not a washout of a week, but there is going to be that instability. Let's travel to just be prepared that you'll probably want to bust out the shorts through Sunday. Gorgeous weekend, but the humidity does make a bit of a return. So Toronto feeling like 30 as we travel into the latter half of your weekend. Heading further to the east, southern Quebec, beautiful conditions for you this weekend, but Atlantic Canada, unsettled. Now, the system that you're dealing with is the same one that brought significant rainfall through portions of Ontario late week. So we are seeing a risk of some thunderstorm development, even extending in through western Newfoundland. Should be non-severe in nature, but the system was very moisture laden. So the biggest threat with 15 to 30 millimeters for some areas that are hardest hit. And of course, the humidity continues in the maritime provinces, feeling like the low 30s, and even St. John's by Sunday afternoon will feel like 28. All right, coming up, we'll have more details on the prairie storms and what's in behind it with a look ahead at the long range. Well, it's the summer season. Many of you have those outdoor projects. Certainly good conditions through southern BC, not so much for the north where we are seeing some rainfall. Temperatures improving in Alberta. Great chance to get outdoors and do the projects, get some painting done. But a low pressure system moving through southern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario. Not advised to get those projects started on your Sunday. Good conditions through Ontario, southern Quebec, Atlantic Canada, a bit unsettled even into the start of your Monday, but things will quiet down for you in the prairies and stay quiet in the west. Well, it's the summer season. Many of you have those outdoor projects. Certainly good conditions through southern BC, not so much for the north where we are seeing some rainfall. Temperatures improving in Alberta. Great chance to get outdoors and do the projects, get some painting done. But a low pressure system moving through southern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario. Not advised to get those projects started on your Sunday. Good conditions through Ontario, southern Quebec, Atlantic Canada, a bit unsettled even into the start of your Monday, but things will quiet down for you in the prairies and stay quiet in the west.